Okay, so last time you guys rescued these kidnapped victims who had been kidnapped by Scarplume, the strict sorceress, and her gang of tieflings, the Red Jills. You kept one of the Red Jills alive and Scarplume alive, which is where we're going to start. But the other thing is, just like context-wise, the idea that there are beastmen here right now, that's actually a pretty big deal. Beastmen aren't seen in the city very often, which is more of a, and by the way, I'm telling you all of this, but Weirin knows this, even if Jimmy himself doesn't know this. The Beastmen are a big problem for the province of Ravenel as a whole. Basically, these big groups of beastmen run around the province called war herds that are, a couple hundred strong, and most times they come to, little small villages. They steal food supplies. They kidnap people. It's a whole lot of kidnapping. And they try and infect people with what's called the Savaphage, which is the disease that turns a regular person to a beast man in 24 hours. So them being in Kintargo is weird. It's not normal. Those of you who are Kintargo natives would know that the Beastmen haven't been in Kintargo since they were driven out during the Chellish Civil War 80 years ago. With that said, you guys are in the livery, and you have an unconscious Scarplume and an unconscious Red Jill right in front of you. What do you want to do?
Do we interrogate them here, or do we try and take them back? Where are we again?
I would interrogate them here so that we can deal with them appropriately.
Where are we on the map, anyways?
You guys are in Red Roof. I believe the Fair Fortune livery.
I'm nowhere. Currently, I'm just looking at the map of the map.
Yeah, I moved you guys back to the home screen because we don't actually have to be on the livery map for this.
Forward Red Roof.
If you look down in handouts, there's the Kintargo section. R5, if you see R5, that's the Fair Fortune livery. So that's where you are.
Okay.
Oh, R5.
Oh, it's haunted?
It's
But
haunted
anyway.
by beastmen that are kidnapping people. Probably, just saying.
Okay, I'll wake up the not Scarplume person, I guess.
Okay.
First, anyways. Should I like heal them to wake them up?
Yeah.
Stabilize them?
Stabilize still.
If you stabilize, they're not conscious yet.
Yeah. I'll stabilize and I guess Cure Light Wounds works? Sure, I won't use a potion.
Okay. He wakes up, and he looks at you frightfully.
I hit him in the face.
I mean, 1d3 plus your strength damage, I suppose.
Roll the hit.
Yeah, right. He dodges.
So what are you people doing here?
He says, I'm just trying to make a buck, man.
Oh, so you don't know anything? You're just standing here and you don't know anything?
I don't know anything, man.
Sense motive.
I hit him again. Oh, I guess
He's back unconscious. No, I'm kidding. Your sense motive reveals fucking nothing because I haven't rolled it yet. I mean, he does know stuff. This is a euphemism, however, for he probably doesn't know what you want.
What do you know about Regis?
Who?
Now's not the time.
Nobody knows anything about
cares.
Regis. Especially not people kidnapping
Recons, please.
poor tieflings off the street.
How long have you guys? How long have you been here? in
I've
this
been
state?
I've been part of the Red Jills since we got fired from the dock 6 months ago.
But how long have you been here with these tieflings?
Gee, like 2 weeks.
How do you stand the smell? Oh, wait, I know.
That's hardcore.
Oh, I get it. I mean,
I went with the other guys, and we pick up the tieflings from the other spot, the warehouse.
Was that the warehouse we were in before?
Yeah, it's the warehouse you guys are in. Before.
I forget if it was warehouse.
Have you guys been back there, by the way?
No. Once
Okay,
we
good to
lost
know.
contact with Dominic, I mean, we're pretty sure he's dead. Once we lost contact with Dominic, the plan was to get these guys out, and we were going to abandon this location altogether.
Get them out where?
I don't know, something about the sewers.
Sense, is that a sense motive type thing, or is he just...
Yeah, sure, you can sense motive that.
And I have to actually get to my character sheet to do that.
Buddy
No,
rolls
I'm
it.
rolling it.
Oh, awesome. That means I don't need to get to my character sheet to do it.
He's telling the truth.
I mean, if he's not useful, maybe we should just kill him and get rid of him. I mean, we can't just take a live prisoner back with us, right?
No,
be
no,
far too
man. You
suspicious.
don't gotta kill me, man. I could just disappear, man.
I can't
You can't
trust you.
disappear in this city right now.
I have ways to get out of the city.
Oh,
Really?
I know how to get out of the city, man.
And how do you do that?
Well, it's the way that we get all the prisoners out of the city. People use the sewers.
So you know the ways in the sewers?
Well, not me personally, but I know that we bring them down into the sewers, and then we meet up with some other guys, and then they take them out through the water.
I pointed at Scarplume and was like, does she know how to use the sewers?
No, man, no way.
She doesn't?
Nah,
Is
man,
she
she
your
always made
leader?
us do it.
And where does she come from then?
The forest.
And these
I
beastmen,
think.
why the fuck are they here?
I don't really know. We didn't really ask those kinds of questions. Or well, Dominic did, but then he got fucked up.
You don't know why you working with them? You don't know anything about these beastmen?
Like, I want to ask questions about beastmen in the city. All I know is they weren't attacking me.
Did they get in through the sewers as well?
Yeah. It
Uh,
wasn't the beastmen who took them out, though. Those were scum.
It
Which
wasn't
is
the
a
beastmen who
race
took
of frog
what?
people.
It wasn't the
Oh, that's
beastmen who
it.
took what out?
Well, so, there were more beastmen in the sewers than were with us. There was a couple of them that stayed with Scarplume just for security and to make sure the prisoners are doing okay and everything like that, but when we go down in the sewers, I've seen plenty down there.
So there's more people in the sewers right now?
More beastmen? Yeah. And then the scum are the ones that are moving them. That's who we make the handoff to, at least.
So the scum get them out?
The gang?
The scum are, I guess you guys can, like, a knowledge check for this, like, a history? Knowledge local, probably, is the better one.
Oops, I guess I don't have it.
Yeah,
As
but
a area.
Sir Alaric, character sheet. Bills.
Project sucks.
Okay, scum are a local, basically, race of like frog people, but they're aquatic. And they live all up and down, the coast around here. There's always been tales that, scum infest the sewers and do kind of crazy stuff. The Red Joe goes on to basically explain that what he's seen is they bring the prisoners to a specific cistern that links with the river. Like it's a basin that links out to the river. They bring it there, and the scum, and they bring it to a group of scum and of beastmen, and then they leave.
I thought the whole point of this was to some nefarious use of the prisoners by the coven of whatever. Like what you're taking these dudes alive, uncovenified?
I don't know any more about it than you do, man. I don't ask these questions.
Well,
People who ask questions get burned by Scarplume, man.
Guess that makes Scarplume a better person to ask.
I mean, we might need to get out of the city. Actually, I don't know if we need to get out of the city, to be entirely frank, but...
I mean, look, I'll tell you, the best way to get out of the city is to use those sewers, man. I don't think anybody from the Dotari whoever goes down there. The only person I've seen down there is an elf. I think it's an elf. Maybe it's a half elf. But, we try not to fuck with her, and she doesn't fuck with us. I don't know, man. Wears black and is an elf, and she has a cloak, and she spends all of her time in the sewers. We see her every once in a while, but orders are not to fuck with her.
Can we make a knowledge check on that?
Make a knowledge local check. Tough one, I guess. Checklist doesn't make it.
Well, I need to select my character. Where is he?
Yeah.
Weirin doesn't make it.
Obvious.
Beauregard makes it. Let me look up her name specifically.
Oh, you actually rolled a 20 on the d20.
Yeah, I rolled a 20 and a 1.
Why does that turn into blue?
Because
he is
He
referring.
rolled a maximum in.
You know that he's referring to a half-elf who lives in the sewers named Zyrule, which is the only name that you know. She's not dangerous or whatever. She's kind of famously dedicated most of her life and time to making sure the sewers of Kintargo remain flowing and efficient, keeping like the waste from dumping too far upriver or near the wells. Why she does this, nobody knows, but her work is, pretty instrumental in keeping up Kintargo's public health.
That's pretty neat.
Sounds like a good person to be
one
on our
check to
side.
do.
Yeah, she's got druidic magic.
I would also to the group, I would say as little as I care for this scum, if the eventual plan is to maybe recruit some of our downtrodden tiefling downtrodden tieflings join our cause, killing him for little to no reason. Now that he's surrendered, of course. We could just say that he never surrendered. No one else would know.
I mean, you can let me go, and I can tell people good things about.
I mean, I wasn't. I was talking to people, not he. Or the intention was that he didn't hear that.
Oh,
So I said as an aside to my friends.
fair enough.
So who did he shoot?
What?
Well, I mean, he shot at us.
Yeah, he probably
A
hit
lot.
some of you guys.
Wait, is this the one that crit my bird?
Yeah, sure. Drama.
Just saying, this guy was fully okay to kill us.
Yeah, no, I know. It's more like, do we
Mark.
do we need him? Do we need him alive, or can we dispose of him? Or would he be more useful alive, or is it easier to just get rid of him?
Wait. So I have a question. Aside to the group, if we let him go and we tell him to leave the city, could we send someone to track him or follow him, so they can find the way in the sewer or something?
Oof.
Ooh.
I'd
We got
love to.
people that can do that, right?
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, you could use kind of like a one-time only rebellion action to like follow him.
Oh, I'm so down. I'm so down.
Yeah, this is a great idea.
Because I really want to know how to get out of the city, because I have a feeling that I might need to make an exit at some point.
And I care about that a lot for many reasons, so I say that we go with this. Anyone have objections?
No, I think this is a good idea. Intel gathering.
And whoever we send to follow him, if he starts disseminating too much either information about who we are and what's up, or doesn't leave, they should just ice the motherfucker.
Just so you guys, just because I guess I'm setting this precedent here, if you want to use your currently currently had teams in kind of unique scenarios to solve problems like this, that's totally okay to a certain extent. Just, bring it up. We could talk about it. I'll approve some. I'll say no to others. This one's pretty straightforward, and I think it's cool, and it gives me a neat way to give you guys information. No, the checks are going to be higher than, like, normal, because it is specialized rather than, like...
Yeah, it makes sense. Does Beauregard or Cax have any comments? As I munch on real life food?
What about this dude?
Yeah, about this plan to have him tailed.
I don't care.
Okay.
Me neither.
It seems like we'll get more information, and more information is more power.
Okay, so we should get this going. I don't know if we can let him go right now because we haven't told anyone to do this yet. So maybe...
You would probably have to save him in a safe house until the next week.
Yeah, it sounds
good. Let's make it that safe house is not the home of our rebellion. Maybe something like...
Your other safe house is Clenched Jaws. You have
that
two
was what I
right
was
now.
about to say.
Oh, actually, did you guys activate a safe house? I think you might have...
I thought we did.
Yeah,
I
we
think that
argued
might
about
be-
where it was for a while.
I need to look at... I'm just going to look at the rebellion
but
sheet
is
real
that-
quick, because
Isn't
Isn't
it
it
near
near
the
the Noble district?
No, you guys haven't... well, that's Clenched
Well,
Jaws.
technically,
You
Clenched Jaws
activated the
is
safe house
near
that is Clenched Jaws. These are the two that you have. I thought you might have done one this last week, but you're recruiting followers and spreading disinformation. So...
Okay. I guess we set him aside and we move on to Scarplume.
Sounds good.
I guess I'll heal that person too. Third person.
Should we tie her up?
I'm imagining that
I'm imagining
you
they're
have
already tied
bound
up.
these people.
I was
Just
imagining they were tied
making
up.
sure.
I mean, she only has one wing or something now, right? Probably not feeling too good.
Yeah, she's pretty fucked up.
Sevens. Did she wake up?
She took a lot of damage, but that's a lot of healing. So yes, she wakes up.
Okay, I say.
I say.
She looks at you with disdain. She spits on Workax's face.
Who spits on me?
Scarplume.
A puncher. No, I like saying that though.
Punch her softly.
I intimidate her. Do that again, and you'll feel what I'm going to do to Regregious.
Okay, you can roll that if you want.
Stop.
Got a hardcore boner.
Oops.
This guy's. Wow.
Oops.
Unfortunately, she's not intimidated.
Wait, what? Was that intimidated off of a 27?
Crit.
No.
Oh, well,
It's
that
also
sucks.
not to he's not demoralizing her.
I thought it was pretty demoralizing.
No, demoralize is a specific action in combat. That's what I was doing during the last fight.
So what do you want to do?
just gonna like yell at her. What are you and these beastmen doing here in this city?
Serving
come
the
from?
will of my lord.
And your lord is.
Who's your fucking lord?
Well, she'll never be royals.
She
Get it?
Oh
says,
my god! I see what you
Cancer.
she's the plague that will consume this city.
A plague, Not even a
Yes,
real person,
yes.
just a disease.
Indeed, I guess. She's also a bird.
I'm just trying to think how to actually make her say something useful.
What do you want to make her say?
I want to know why they're beastmen here. I want to know who this fucking lady is that's gonna kill us all with disease or some bullshit.
Fucking ladies.
I don't know. Didn't she say she?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood what you were saying. I was like, did I get something wrong? Anyways.
She says, Lilith is the embodiment of torture and torment. She is a demigod made flesh.
Oh, and where is this demigod?
Ha! Even your school children know where she resides. The forest that is my home.
And if she's
You're
in
not
the forest,
transmitting,
why-
Charles.
Do I know anything with my knowledge religion check of 17?
Oof. Your knowledge religion check of 17, not quite enough.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
What you do pick up on is that her lord is likely a different person than Lilith.
But she looks at them as Lilith.
Who's
Sorry?
Lilith?
Lilith is the person she's referring to.
That's just a test.
The demigod made flesh, the embodiment of torture and torment. But when she's saying that, when she's talking about the plague, she's talking about something different than Lilith.
And who's Lilith again? Like their god or something?
Lilith, you can make a knowledge history check for that. It's tough though. Megan will probably get it though.
What type of knowledge?
History.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll roll some of that.
Actually, neither of you get it.
I'm gonna roll.
Well, that's a 23.
Even with 23.
Okay.
That's a high check.
Really, at the end of the day, the Coven of Lilith is something that you have heard of before,
Oh,
right? But who Lilith is and everything, you don't have like a quick bio in your mind.
What does the forest have to care about this city? I'm so far away. What do you give a shit about this place?
It is where our beastmen come from.
The city?
No, the forest.
I'm gonna know.
No army has penetrated that forest for decades. It is where we are safe and where we will grow the coming revolution.
Wait, did she say why she cared about the city though? Did she say it's where the
No,
beastmen
she
come
didn't say
from?
anything about the city. She's just saying
Yeah.
why the forest.
But then why the city?
Why'd you come all the way out here? You gonna tell us or not?
I was ordered by my lady.
To do what?
Wouldn't you
I
like
point
to
my spear.
know?
I point my spear at her and be like, I can take off that other wing too. If you
I
don't
do
start
not
talking,
fear the embrace of death.
what
Do you
about
fear
fire?
fire?
I say, and I start my hand burning.
She starts her eyes burning and she says, "Ha! The flames bow to me."
Fine, then I switch. I don't think I could do that yet, but whatever. Then I switch my flames to ice instead.
Okay, fair enough.
I have at like level 8. I can change all elemental effects within 30 feet of me to whatever I want.
Baller. That is actually pretty baller.
I'm not sure how much we're gonna get from this person by just by talking to them.
So what about how do you communicate with your lady, or how are you getting in and out of the city with your beastmen and smelly tieflings?
The secrets of my order will not be revealed to some paltry, uncleansed.
Oh wait, a cleansing. That sounds fun. It's really dirty down here. Is there a bathhouse nearby?
Please bathe in the cistern.
Maybe a cistern.
What did she say?
She says, bathe in the cisterns if you want.
Oh. Can we throw her in the cistern that we're next to?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to.
Oh, can we waterboard her?
I mean, yeah, you guys can waterboard her with fucking sewage.
That's what I was thinking. It's like you feel
pretty-
clean now?
Pretty terrible, but okay.
I mean,
I
I'm
honestly don't really
imagining
know
that
what we're talking to
she's
this
not
girl
gonna-
about. We were trying to save the tieflings, and we did.
I was trying to figure out why the people took them. Why do you care about these tieflings, bird person?
She says, she says, we give new light to those who are cast off by your decadent society.
Okay, she turns them into beastmen.
I mean, I sort of figured.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I mean, very tempted to coup de grace her if she just like used. We can't let her go, I imagine.
No, we can't. We just gotta kill her.
Nah, I like this icing idea.
You want to ice her? You want to
Yeah.
ice her?
What the fuck does icing her mean, if not killing her?
I mean, it means killing her with ice in this case,
Oh, okay.
since she was all uppity about fire.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
I love that scene. Yo,
Can you
Beauregard.
freeze the cistern?
I mean, that's more of a buddy question, really.
Can I, what? What is the
Can I
question?
freeze the cistern? like-
Probably not, offhand.
Yeah, I guess I just wondered how much freezing this does.
I mean, my literal theory was just like, I could have fun with that. I could set her on fire and then turn the fire into ice. That
By
would
the
be
way,
fun.
Beauregard and Alaric noticed that there's kind of like a shimmer in the air immediately behind her.
Oh. Wait, what kind of shimmer?
Just, you know, nobody else notices it, but you guys do notice it.
Wait, did you say something?
What's on the ground?
Nothing.
What,
do you mean?
what type of floor is it?
Like concrete, cobblestone, probably.
Is there a significant amount of dirt anywhere?
Yeah, there's a significant amount of dirt everywhere.
Alright, I pick up a handful of dirt and yell pocket sand and throw it at the shimmer.
It doesn't do anything. It just kind of as it fires through the shimmer, the sand itself begins to shimmer, and then once it exits the area of shimmer, it is now normal.
Okay, so it's not like an invisible person.
Right.
You know, I'm just gonna try to stab her because I'm like, wait, something's
Yeah.
going on.
Wait. I say, hold. What's the shimmer? Ask her.
I mean, she might be dead.
She says what?
I pointed out to her.
As she looks back, the shimmer disappears.
All right, kill her.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
I imagine I actually
She is-
have already killed her in the middle of this.
Is there any? All right. Well, we're in just
Please
stab
kill
the
her.
fuck out of her.
I would like Beauregard to kill her.
I
We spend the
I'm
next
killing her, and I
18
did it
years
already.
killing her. Yeah, we're successfully killed her. Once she slumps over, the shimmer again reforms over her dead body, specifically over her head.
What the fuck does that mean?
Can we search her head for any sort of artifact or something that creates the shimmer?
I want to search her body for information, but
You guys take all of her shit. Oh right, there's also I forgot about the magic items. I gotta look up what magic items she's carrying.
Yeah. Also, what magic items? The magic items we have.
La 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 la, la 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 Scarplume, la 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 book one, la 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 Okay. Oh, she has 1 potion of Cure Light Wounds. So.
Excellent. Someone take that.
Got him.
Oh, I guess I could use that. Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
wait, what potion did we get or whatever?
1 potion of Cure Light Wounds.
Yeah, someone used theirs in the last battle, so replenish.
I'll also use my cure moderate wounds, I think.
Oh.
What do you guys want to do?
So the shimmer is still there?
It is still there. It is hovering over her,
Can we
her person.
spellcraft it or anything useful like that?
I mean, you can if you want.
Or knowledge? I don't know if knowledge arcana would make more sense.
You can roll both. Knowledge Arcana reveals nothing. Spellcraft reveals nothing.
Perfect.
Let me roll my versions of
I
those.
doubt
things.
you're gonna. Are you gonna get over 31?
Does Tall sense anything with her bird senses? Is this a natural
Yes.
thing?
Do you have like an empathic link
Yes.
with Chal?
I think.
Your empathic link with Chal communicates that she's not scared of the shimmer at all. In fact, she almost recognizes it.
She almost what?
She
Recognizes
recognizes it.
Yeah, on a perfect, I might be able to beat it with my.
I mean, spoiler alert. You can't succeed on those checks.
Okay.
Oh, so it was just a perception thing.
Yeah, it was just you can try and figure out what it is with those, but you wouldn't.
I just don't know how to. It seems
Honestly,
like
that's kind of mean. What you do figure out is that you could probably it would probably be a good idea to use detect magic.
I have that. I'll do that. So does probably Alaric.
I'm honestly not sure. I assume I do, but
When you detect magic, you very clearly see the astral projected outline of Gondor with his staff, and his staff is like embedded in her forehead.
what?
What the fuck?
Gondor?
What the fuck, Gondor? Can he see me?
What?
If I just go like, if I just give him a look that's like, what the fuck?
I mean, if you say something, he might be able to respond.
Gondar, is that you?
He nods.
What the fuck, Gondar?
Yeah, he grins and laughs a little bit and just kind of puts up a hand that's like, hold on.
The sense motive? Sense motive?
We're in Beauregard, Marigrug. You all sense that Gondor thinks this is fucking funny.
This is
Oh,
fucking what?
fuck you, Gondor.
Is he controlling the bird?
No.
Oh, so he was just like there scrying.
He is. It's more than scrying, and it's different than that. But he is. You can also tell that he's. It's not just the actual projection. There's more magic happening.
I say, neat trick. Can you step in here and give us a hand? Not that we actually really need him to leave.
I don't. Let's just take this other guy and go back to the safe house. And then we can talk to Gondor in person.
He's still spending his time with his staff in her face.
Okay.
I don't understand what you mean by that, by the way.
He
What
lit.
do you
So
staff?
okay, so he's basically a ghost, right? He's astrally projecting, so he can like move through walls and all this kind of stuff. And his staff is with him, and also being astrally projected, right? And in his ability to like phase through walls, he has the head of his staff phased through her face into her head.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. I guess he's got this here. We should. I'm willing to just. We'll hear what's up with this later.
Yeah, are there any cool... If we search the room, is there any GP or cool items?
Yes, you find a chest of 1,000 gold pieces. You free all of these prisoners, who are tieflings. They've said they've been here for a couple of weeks. They've been regularly fed to a certain extent, just kind of moldy bread and given like the water they need to survive. But otherwise, they've been chained to the wall.
No, they didn't. They didn't try and like necrophage them or whatever it's called.
Oh no! What's necrophaging? Oh, so you injecting like infecting them with the savaphage?
Yeah.
No.
So everyone gets 166 GP unless we argue about...
Wait, why is it 166? I thought we got 1900 overall.
You guys got 1,900 overall. That's including the 1,000 from the.
Oh, did we
the
already
chest.
split that up?
Hypothetically.
I don't know.
No, we have, well, arguments. Hey-oh.
You guys should have this argument back in the clubhouse, though.
Okay,
Sure.
that's fine.
So,
Perfectly
yeah.
fine.
When you guys
written down I
go
have
to
480
leave, when you
GP,
guys
and
go
I
to
thought we already
leave,
split it up.
the astrally projected Gondor is gone. And you just head out like normal. You get back to the Long Roads Coffee House. Everybody's been eagerly waiting your return. And Mateo is the first one to kind of come up and say, or ask, and he's just, like, how did it go all right? Is everything okay?
What, Gondor didn't tell you already?
He's been astrally projecting, like, this whole time.
Yeah, it went okay. We saved the tieflings.
Or the
But
tieflings
there's a
with
lot of troubling things going on in the city.
Can we before we leave, like, tell the tieflings to spread a good word about...
Yeah, oh, right. Because you guys did this rescue, you gain a bunch of free followers. In fact, one of you can just roll... Actually, each of you individually roll 1d6. And the sum total of all 5 of those rolls is how many tieflings... So 5, 9,
I'm
12,
ready to see a 2 and a 1.
16.
Ooh.
My fucking thing is not... Oh, there we go.
16, 18. Alright, you guys gained 18 followers. Good job.
Do we level up?
You do not level up.
We leveled up last session. Like,
No,
No,
the
I
rebellion-
meant the rebellion.
The rebellion
Oh.
doesn't level up. You guys have lost a ton of followers.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, your supporters went down to 5, so I think you're up to 20. Oh wait, no, 23.
My fucking character sheet won't update properly.
There's a big refresh button.
Yeah, it's not working.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe you do level up. Let me just double check that, so I'm not gimping you guys. Yeah, no, you guys are level up. You need 30 to get to rank 5, and also rank 5 is your maximum rank. You guys can't increase to rank 6, 7, or whatever until you decide to go public with the rebellion. As long as you are remaining hidden, right? Like as long as your modus operandi is to keep yourselves under the radar, you can't hit level any of those higher ranks.
Oh, that's what's happening. I can't, the consolidated skills won't update unless, oh, maybe not. Maybe they're not enabled. See, there we go. Yeah, consolidated, you can only enable one of consolidated and one of, and one of background skills, and the consolidated skills won't update unless they're selected.
Oops.
And so you have to, in order to get them to update, I have to go to the settings page, switch to consolidated, update all of my values, hit refresh, then go back and switch it to background and hit update all my background skills.
Now that we know why that's happening.
Yeah, now that we know why that's happening.
Just approach it for anybody
Mateo is
else.
very relieved that you guys have been able to rescue these people. He's really glad that he could fulfill his promise to them. He says, yeah, Gondor started, he started astrally projecting. He wanted to follow your progress in the livery, and so he's been projecting for however long. You guys find Gondor sitting kind of alone by himself, hovering a couple of feet off the ground with, his staff horizontally kind of in his hands with his eyes closed.
Gondor, wake up. Shake out of it.
Is there any way for us to know, like, how to get him, if it's possible to get him out of it?
Yeah, I mean, it is possible. It's not necessarily recommended. Hypothetically, you just kind of want to wait for him
I
to
mean, I
get,
don't really
Well,
to
that's,
get
sort
back.
of, that's sort of what I was...
I just thought it was funny.
You
Yeah,
guys,
can we-
flip him upside down.
Yeah,
as
can we
he's
press
levitating.
digitate, like some
You draw
chalk
dicks
or
on his
something
face.
and draw dicks on his face?
Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to move all the furniture in the room by like 3 inches to the left specifically. Before he wakes up.
What?
He's gonna be so confused when he wakes up.
After a small amount of time, not too long, he comes back and he walks into the kind of council chambers. He looks a little bit drained for the experience, but he's not, He says, well, that went well.
Yeah, so how do you know exactly?
I was there the whole time. I wanted to see what was going on for myself.
And why did you need to stick your stick in her head for so long?
It was clear that you wanted the information in from her head, but that she wasn't looking to give it to you. So I thought it would be best if I intervened with the powers of the Dreamweaver.
I can't disagree with this.
That was a good idea, but what did you find out?
Not all that much. You killed her before I was able to get everything, seeing as it's a little bit tough to read memories like that when someone's awake. I'm sifting through their dreams to try and interpret what's going on in their head, obviously. This song is really nice.
Are you okay, buddy?
Anyway, and he says, but I was able to find out quite a bit of information overall. But
Did you find out
Let's-
anything about getting out of the sewers?
yeah, so the sewers, I followed up. I wanted to make sure that Red Jill you were talking to was telling the truth, and he was. It seems that this isn't the only operation that the Covenant of Lilith has running in the city. In fact, they have little cells all over the place across multiple districts. Scarplume knew of them, but she didn't know much about the specifics of what they were attempting to accomplish in these different places. Her job was to kidnap tieflings, mostly women, but men if they were there, so that they could be smuggled out of the city and brought back to the forest, where they would be turned into beastmen. And I shudder to think of what this implies, but I suppose breeders seems to be what they are.
Well, that's terrible.
I agree.
I hate these fucking beastmen. They shouldn't be able to get away with this.
Well, we're not quite there yet when it comes
Seems
to.
pretty simple. If we just deny them their supply of tieflings, in a couple of years they'll go away.
I don't quite know
Oh,
how the specifics of it works. I know that Scarplume is one of the Beastmen themselves are like an army that Lilith commands, and she has several Beastmen commanders who are well, most of them are ferocious, but some of them are cunning and strategic, and these are the ones that lead the war herds.
Wait, what do you know about Lilith?
He dodges that question by saying, I'll get to that in a minute. But, Scott Bloom is one of the actual cult members, of which there seem to be quite a lot, and of which it seems that the Beastmen are not a part of. I suppose Lilith has her own followers, and I don't... She has her own followers, and they're trying to do. It's unclear.
And nothing specific about this plague?
About the plague? Oh, the plague is the Savaphage. It's
Just the Savaphage?
It's just the
Do you
Savaphage.
think they're trying to get the whole city infected with the Savaphage?
See, I don't think that that's what they're trying to do. The Savaphage isn't all that hard to combat. It can be, removed just by a remove disease spell or potion. So, and
Even
the
on
way.
an advanced beastman? Like if you've gone full beastman, is
No.
that all it takes? Okay.
No, but it incubates for 24 hours before it metamorphosizes, before you metamorphose, whatever. And once that happens, the process is irreversible. But before that, you can cure the virus, and so mass outbreaks like this is something that we prepare for. In fact, the Temple of Asmodeus, I know that the Temple of Asmodeus has a great number of potions of remove disease just in the case of this kind of thing, and it's one of the most frequent supplies that the Way Watchers of the countryside use, giving potions to the towns and villages just to make sure that if they get attacked, no one who gets infected turns. He says, to be honest, I wasn't expecting this sort of interaction, I suppose. I mean, we all know that the Covenant of Lilith is a threat to Ravenel as a whole, but none of us have ever, none of my people, I suppose, have ever feared that they would be so bold as to infiltrate Kintargo. The other piece of this is these scum that are getting them out of the city. It seems as though Scarplume brings these kidnapped tieflings to the scum and a group of beastmen, almost escorts, and the scum spellcasters use magic in order to get the prisoners out of the city through the river, where they can't be detected by the Dotari or by the Chellish citizens group. And then he says, but I suppose I'm beating around the bush a little bit. Look, this will be something of a story, so we should all take the night for it. I'll fill everyone in tomorrow. Does that sound all right?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. He goes off. The rest of the council goes off. What do you guys? What do you guys want to do?
Go to sleep.
I believe there is a
Wait.
matter of the possessions we have collected to discuss.
That's true.
This is true.
I don't know how much
This
gold
is
there
true.
in my sheet.
That's true. You do need to discuss that.
Would it
I
also
would like
I
my
mean,
fair share.
How do you define fair share?
We split evenly between all of us.
So an equal share. So no evaluation of fairness. I can get behind that, for that is a tough thing to measure. Do we want to allocate a share for the Silver Ravens?
I think it probably makes the most sense to split it 5 ways, and then each of us decide how much to put into the treasury.
I think that's kind of dumb. I don't know.
Do we?
Taylor says, I mean, I get why you say that, but you know, you've given me enough money to work with for the time being. It's obviously not a very big organization that needs a whole lot of upkeep, so you know that kind of system isn't something that's going to break the bank for us.
Not to split particular hairs, but how do we treat the value of items obtained?
For the
Vigo
most part.
says it's very straightforward as far as I see it. The group of you are the ones undertaking most of these missions hands-on. If you can find value in these items, do so. Right.
Right, but if we insist on on equal shares, and say we find a sword of value 2,000 gold pieces and liquid assets of 500 gold pieces, how do we divide an equal share?
Assuming you're selling the sword.
Assuming we do not want to sell the sword, of course.
Okay.
Right, like
What
you
sword
cannot
did we get?
allocate an equal share if the sword does not be converted into liquid gold. And my concern is that we get caught up on dividing into equal shares as opposed to using useful resources when we come across them.
I would like my equal share.
Well, Rakax, how would you suggest remedying that situation as I have described it?
If an individual would like the sword, they can feel free to pay out everyone's equal share.
If those funds are not available, are we okay with borrowed credit? Essentially, I would rather have our troops be well equipped than deny someone a piece of valuable equipment due to petty disagreements over value.
Oh, hey,
And then, like,
hey.
the sword might be worth more than a total share right now, so it could be hard.
That is my concern.
Taylor says, you know, I do this kind of math in my sleep. If you guys want me to calculate this stuff out so that people understand what share, you know, who owes what, based on the value of items that they take, that's totally fine. And that doesn't necessarily apply to all of you, right? I'm sure that if we find a sword that's of value to, you know, Dainarath or Odenna, right, you guys would want that. They both nod and say, you know, sure.
Yeah, where does that value come out of then?
I mean, it seems the value would come
At
out
that-
of the credit
I
line.
mean, yeah, what's her face? Taylor explains basically that at that point it would be treated as though the sword were submitted to the vault, right? and then withdraw. So it's almost as though you guys have donated the 2,000 gold to the vault, and then it would have been withdrawn. That money would have been withdrawn by Odena at the behest of the organization.
Okay. So essentially, every member of the party would have to agree to donate 400 gold to the vault at the point that it gets donated to the vault.
Right.
And assuming we have that agreement.
Or I mean, you could fill it out in other ways, right? If someone wants to donate 800 because somebody else doesn't want to donate 400, sure.
Sure. But like I said, the final remaining question is are we okay with say someone only has 100 gold in liquid assets and there is a sword that would benefit them greatly? Are we okay with that person owing the collective organization some amount of money while they collect those liquid funds?
I am, although what I worry about is finding. I mean, I have very little use for swords, but finding some object of magical significance, and then being essentially destitute in the effort to repay the group. That makes sense. Or perhaps put another way, suppose you have 300 GP on you. You get an item worth 1,800 GP. Your intake per mission seems to, thus far in our brief time together as a band, be 200, 150 gold thereabouts per sortie, if you will. One item potentially sets you back the entirety of that for the next several months. But in principle, in terms of when it comes to liquid assets, I have a feeling that we should be fairly dividing. When it comes to liquid assets, I think that fairly dividing gold makes sense, or attempting to pool gold in times may make sense.
Equally dividing. I don't want any sort of arguments as to what is fair if someone's owed more, some such nonsense.
Fair enough.
Taylor also says, and based on what I'm looking at, with the investment that you guys have given me, I can basically run this organization more or less at neutrality, it seems.
So we do not need to worry about filtering any money into the...
I thought we needed to upkeep the rebellion.
You need to upkeep the tree. She said, so here, really what she's describing is obviously you're going to have to pay people and buy food and supplies and all that stuff. That stuff is all net neutral for her, right? She can turn the money that's in the vault into enough of a profit to pay down the cost of food, the cost of all of this other stuff, so that you guys, it's not like the rebellion losing money and you constantly need to adventure and put money in the vault in order to buy that stuff, right? This is just this is an RP reason of a cost saving measure on my part, because there are no rules for,
So
Sure.
I asked the party once more.
It's not like it drains. It's not like it drains GP from the gold or from the vault every week according to the base rules.
Okay.
So I asked the party once more, are we okay with members indebting themselves to the rest of the group? I, for one, am.
I don't particularly care. I will be leaving soon anyway. I'll take my equal share and be on my way.
Where are you going?
Seek revenge, or to seek
I'm so confused.
revenge, seek vengeance.
Well, I hate to point this out, Rakox, but I don't think you can necessarily just walk away from this.
I don't know. What you think you can do what you want to do by yourself, anyways?
I've asked for help or for some whatever. Clearly, I'm alone in this, so I will leave. And if I die or not, that is up to me.
What is this? You say you've asked for help in something, but in something. Is this that dude you keep going on about? Remy, what's his name? Ramilda?
Regregious?
Egregious.
Regregious two mists.
Regregious?
Who, by the way, I updated. He's in your journal in case you didn't see that, Enoch.
So what is your plan, Rakax? Are you going to try and kill this man?
Yeah.
Wasn't Regregious
Do you think-
one of those schmucks?
Do you think killing this man will win back your lover's heart? 'Cause it won't.
Also, I'd love to point out that isn't he in charge of the Chellish Citizens Brigade?
Yes.
That's a thing that draws attention.
Not. That is a good point, Alaric. Regregious. If you want to win back your lady's heart, you're better off staying with us and trying to embarrass the Chellish Citizens Brigade, rather than trying to go on some foolhardy murder mission.
Gondor also points out.
I'm also super okay with murder missions, just probably not super obvious murder missions.
It's also
Gondor-
not worth our resources.
Gondor points out, based on what you told me about your lady love and Regregious last week, I don't think you need to win her heart back. You just need to remove him from the equation. It's clear that she cares about you. It's just that her family and the agreement that they've made with Regregious himself is what's getting in the way.
Fair point, Gondar. What do you say I do?
He says, look, if we're going to take this city, if we're going to defeat Barzillai Thrune, it means we're going to have to churn through all of his allies. We're going to have to kill Tonrik Bauer, we're going to have to kill Bian Rogar, we're going to have to kill Thierry Saizoni and Kornstein Grivner. And Regregious is on that list. He's someone that we're going to have to kill, that we're going to have to put a stop to. And once we take over the city, what reason does Nathaniel Reynolds have to marry off his loyal bodyguard to Regregious in the first place? You and I both know that the only reason he's doing this is because he wants to curry favor with the dominant, government who's controlling the city. If we control the city, the favor that he's looking to curry is yours.
You make a fair point.
Yeah, I look at Gondar and nod like, yeah, you tell him.
And also, let's say you only kill Regregious. Like, you just go and you're successful and you kill one dude, right? And then all of a sudden, Reynolds finds somebody else. Like, until everything is systematically taken apart, the Reynolds family will find someone else to sell off Lorelei to.
Also, would Lady Friend really like just like cold-blooded murder of dude?
Based on what I heard from Rakax, I don't think there'd be any love lust between her and
Oh, I don't
Agreed to
disbelieve
be.
that. I'm just saying that you're gonna just be like this could go bad.
Very well, Gondar. I will play by your rules.
Gondor says, by the way, I think that this kind of thing goes for all of you. I don't think that there's any running from this, unless you want to leave Ravenel, unless you want to leave Kintargo entirely. But this is a roadblock that everyone is going to have to face. We're all going to have to fight through, because there's no returning home until Barzillai Thrune and all of his ilk are dead.
This almost seems like it could conclude to a suicide mission.
It's not about it being a suicide mission. It's just, look, I know that you want to return to the countryside. I've seen, the way that you behave when it comes to being cooped up in this underground lair. This isn't a natural place for you. Neither is the city. I understand that, but I don't think you're going to be able to return to the Ravenel countryside and expect that all of this problem is going to be gone. You were the one that told us about Lucian Thrune, who's clearly running things in that countryside that you're looking to protect.
I think about it. Think how I respond to that. I agree, but I think about it very contemplatively.
And he says, and you know what? If you want to say that we need to look outside of Kintargo, I agree with you 100%. I don't think that we can just have this whole thing isn't just going to happen as part of the city. Because as long as there's some connection out there to, the Queen, right? And to the infernal empire of Chellish as a whole, whether or not we deal with Barzillai in this city doesn't matter. Because he can just request an army, march up from Igorian, and take control of the city that way. We're going to have to solidify our hold over the countryside as well, and we're going to have to recruit all of the allies out there, including the Way Watchers, which, I'm not sure if you ever were a Way Watcher, Weirin, but you definitely look the type.
I was in my past. I could definitely get more into this rebellion if I knew that we cared not just about the city, but about people everywhere, especially those that have been neglected before.
My goal isn't to liberate Kintargo and turn it into the next, Via. It's not to try and make Kintargo into some city-state, right? I think we're talking about the birth of a new kingdom here. A place that Kintargo is only one city of many. But I think that's also a little bit down the line. And I'm not going to get frustrated.
That sounds very far down the line.
I'm not going to get frustrated or bent out of shape, even though I've been confined here while Tonrik Bauer is hunting for my hide. I think that we'll have to deal with all of these problems in time, but we're going to need time in order to deal with these problems. So, we just need to take it one step in front of the other. And the important thing is not to give up or to run away because it's hard or it's difficult, because I think it's going to get more difficult as we go. But the more difficult it gets, the more important it gets. And the closer that we become to, actually succeeding at this. A little American flag is waving behind Gondor. He puts his hand over his heart. An American eagle. Freedom!
So
isn't it going to be a
take some
Reagan?
fireworks then.
Yeah. He said,
Oh, so
sorry,
can
I'm
it just be
not
tall?
trying to give any, I'm not trying to give a speech, but
Sounds like
I
a
think
speech to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
What's next?
It's
Very nice. Now back to the matter of dividing the loot.
oh right, didn't we agree this?
The only other thing I would like to point out about the divvy of the loot is that equipment should be valued at the value that we sell it at, rather than at the value one could buy an equivalent item at.
What do you mean? What?
As in, when we buy it for the sell price.
Yeah.
As an individual.
So like, if we have a sword that's worth, let's say if we tried to sell it to the market, it'd be 2,000 gold, but if we tried to buy it, it's generally 4,000. That's generally the relationship. When we divvy it up for value, we use the value that we would sell it at, rather than the value that we would buy it at.
Oh, I get you. So you're not. So the idea is you're not trying to eke out a profit by selling stuff. You know what I mean? You're not buying it from the organization and trying to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a net neutral transaction that makes tons of sense. I get that. Okay.
Tax free.
Is there anything else you guys want to tackle tonight?
No, I'm honestly trying to remember. All right, so we've rescued the tieflings. We got a bunch of people who think we're cool now. That's great. We'll dispatch one of our sneaks to go figure out how to get out of the city if we need to. And next, it's on to Clenched Jaw.
Yeah, it's on to the Tiefling Rebellion that's starting up.
Mm-hmm.
Why is
That's
it always
definitely your guys'
tieflings?
next mission, by the way. We're not going to get to that tonight because there's more stuff that we need to do. But you guys go to bed, and we'll do rebellion sheet stuff. So, the pending actions are recruit followers, spread disinformation, and another recruit followers. As you guys reconvene so you guys reconvene in the morning. The first thing that happens is Lyra puts a note on the table that's just like written on some general parchment, right, like ink on parchment, and the note says, "Don't let anyone in. There's a spy waiting for an entrance." That's what the note says.
Wait, don't let anyone into the group?
Yeah. Mechanically, this is talking about like recruiting supporters.
Like, there's someone. Why does she need a note for this?
She says.
Like, is there someone listening?
No, this is what she said. She says, "I found this note. This note was left in my, in the coffee house mailbox. Right? Somebody left this for us. I don't know what to make of it, but I didn't recruit anyone this week because I didn't. I can go forward with that if you want to. I'm sure I can talk to these people. I'm sure I can iron out support, but I wanted to bring this to you first before we decided whether or not I was going to actually commit or not."
Can I use either, I guess it would be either linguistics or knowledge local to try and recognize the handwriting?
Sure.
Should I roll linguistics or knowledge local?
Roll them both.
Alright, there's my knowledge local. I need to select my character. Where are we on the map? I need to fix, we're over here. Yeah,
Change your macros to not.
Yeah, I'm going to change them to not selected soon. That's my knowledge local, and my linguistics is. Where is my linguistics button? Linguistics. I can. Well, that's the linguistics check.
You don't recognize the handwriting.
Okay.
But you are confident that it's not the handwriting of anyone whose handwriting you could recognize.
Okay.
So it's not like, it's not like
Not
secretly
Gondor.
yeah, it's not exactly. It's not secretly Gondor, right?
Okay.
Well, so this note raises two separate but equally concerning issues. The first one is the person who wrote it obviously knows of the rebellion and doesn't feel comfortable enough to step forward. And the second, that could indicate a spy or some sort of outside presence there. And number two, the obvious face value of, is there someone investigating us to the point where they could be let in? And honestly, the former is more concerning to me, in that if someone leaves an anonymous note that says, "Don't let more people in, there's a spy among you," how do we know they're not the spy among us?
Well, he said he did not say that there was a spy among us. He said that there was a spy trying to become among us.
Sure, but
your point still stands. Just
the
wanted to
point
make
stands,
sure.
yeah. But that person himself could be an agent of the enemy.
She sighs and she says, "Yeah, I mean, this is exactly why I brought it here. I don't know what to make of it either."
It means someone is aware. Presumably someone already in the organization, but maybe not. And if that person is not in the organization but is aware, I mean, we have a larger problem.
Might I suggest following the advice of the note for this particular week and trying to track down its origins? Better safe than sorry, I would say.
How many followers do we have right now, given that we did just add 21 followers among our tiefling acquaintances?
Comrade.
Allies.
You gained 18 followers, which is a whole bunch.
Oh, I thought
obviously.
we gained 21. I don't know.
Right?
So
I mean, we still have the D6s. That's 9, 12, yeah. It's 18.
So we gained 18 and we had 4?
You guys had, you might have had 5 at the time.
Alright, so we have 22 followers. That
You have
does
23 followers. That's what I wrote down. when I
And we
did the
can't go above
calculation.
30. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. You can go above 30, right? If you want to get 100 followers, feel free. You just can't rank into any of those higher ranks until you choose to go public with the rebellion.
Sure. Well, the point was we had a significant lack of morale that caused many of our hangers-on to lose the faith, as it were. And that's why we doubled up on recruiting followers. We just got a bunch, and I don't know if we can vouch for any of their loyalty. So that does put up 1 point in favor of not recruiting any more followers for the time being. However, it's really just a matter of what do we want to do about this note, because it is troubling. Does anyone else have an opinion on the note? Or what to do about it?
Gondor agrees with you. Just overall.
All of Gondor agrees with you.
He says, which is really to say that we should set up, he's saying we should set a precedent based on this note, right? Try and figure out how we want to handle this kind of thing in the future.
I mean, I don't know how to easily ascertain the loyalty of members of the rebellion, as, you know, a committed agent of Barzillai Thrun would probably be willing to do quite a lot in the name of gathering up everyone at once. I would be, anyways.
Well, there is the whole dream thing that apparently Gondor here is capable of doing.
It's true, I can't do that. The Dreamweaver allows me to sift through someone, you know, I can sift through someone's dreams, and I can see what they are dreaming about. Most people dream, obviously, about things that they're imminently concerned with, so it's not hard for me to interpret one way or the other.
What was that?
What was what?
Sounded like someone dying slowly.
Might have been me, I was stretching.
I would suggest that maybe one way we investigate this situation is Gondor and the Dreamweaver.
Can you, Gondar? Can you do a blanket search of people, or do you need a specific target?
I need to work specifically, and it's not something that I can do immediately. It would take me a good amount of time.
So what? I look at the note. No, I said, what is the note like?
Paper. I mean, it's
Can we
What type of
scry
ink?
it?
I don't know.
Darkwood ink.
Yeah, darkwood ink. Sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can I dust it for fingerprints?
I'm
I'm an investigator.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, this actually, yeah, you can test it for fingerprints if you want.
I dust it for fingerprints.
You get a couple of different fingerprints. They don't match any fingerprints that you know of.
But we
You
could use
don't know
them
many.
later.
Yeah.
Like, if we have some sort of way to encase these fingerprints.
Beauregard looks at the fingerprints on the paper, and he looks at it and goes, and he brings it right up to his face, and then he looks at his own thumb. Fuck. And then he puts it back down.
Well, do they look like any, like, I assume races have
Are they
differing
human?
fingerprints,
Yeah, are they
right?
human
Like,
fingerprints?
Oh,
Are they
fair
medium-sized
enough.
fingerprints? Are they
These are
Yeah.
good questions.
I show up
you
my
use
thumb.
knowledge,
no,
history?
shit.
nature,
Nature? History? No, something.
engineering.
Yeah.
They are construct
I think,
fingerprints. Well, here, are they hobbit-sized fingerprints?
Well, should you want me to roll nature? Or you want me to roll? I guess.
Role playing.
I guess nature. I think nature is the better one.
All right, I can roll it untrained, because I have keen recollection or whatever, and I will spend a inspiration on it.
That's good. Jimmy, do you have knowledge nature?
Do I have what?
No.
You have knowledge nature?
Yeah, I have knowledge nature.
All right.
Okay, you should roll too.
I will. Yeah, I will.
Oh wow, Jesus Christ!
I will
That's your
assist.
second 20 in a row.
I will assist whoever's doing this.
Oh, it's not yours. Whoops, I didn't realize.
I'll probably assist you, yeah.
Yeah, with knowledge
Okay.
nature, you guys can definitely recognize mostly Rakox he's like, yep,
Yeah,
I
we're-
know.
Wow.
Rakox is like, you know exactly what these fingers would look like, and they're human fingerprints.
Okay.
Besides the obvious half-elven fingerprints of Beauregard from fondling the note, and I guess halfling, the
Oh.
only set of fingerprints that isn't someone who has touched the note in recent memory are of human fingerprints.
Well, when I'm in Beauregard's form, my fingerprints are human. Believe me.
Are they really?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like-
I don't know. I don't know if you can disguise that.
Yeah,
Do you
I
ever
also
do
know.
that thing? Are you Lex Luthor cutting off fingerprints with a kryptonite scalpel? Pacing along.
Martha!
So I don't know how the mechanics of this work, right? Like, I assume that like most humanoids are fairly similar. Like
Yeah.
a glance won't be able to tell the difference. Half elves especially. But yeah.
Okay. And then. And then the other thing is, Mateo and Vigo say, Mateo says, okay, so another thing that we've been talking about, Mateo and I obviously Vigo and I obviously work together a lot, and we want to bring in some of, our people into the organization. The problem is, we know that they don't necessarily get along. I'd like to bring in my crew and my first mate, Ralph. And Vigo says, and I want to bring in the people that that you rescued with me, Corva Fushi, and her squad. And Mateo says, right, but Corva and Ralph really hate each other. So I don't think it would be a good idea to bring in both of them.
Who's Cora? Or Cora?
Corva Fushi is the Tengu. She's the bird person. That's not a Strix, but is like a. She should be in your. Is she in your journals? I gotta look now.
I think that Ralph fella is a fine gentleman. I fully endorse Ralph.
Where is
Is she a team leader or something? I just don't remember.
No, she's not a team leader. She should be. Well, she will be. Let me look. The fuck is she? Oh, she's in major NPCs. I didn't realize.
When did we meet this person?
You saved her along with Vigo from.
Oh, I see. So both of their seconds hate each other.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Squawking out commands.
Vigo says.
That sounds racist.
My team.
Wait, you wrote walking out commands?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Vigo says, my team are enforcers. When we used to have to deal with bullshit in the black, I would send out Corva and she would bring me heads. If we were to bring her on board, I think that would be best how she functions. She could be a great backup team for you when you're trying to, infiltrate, a building or something like that. She could really carve out a path, and I think that's where she's at her most valuable. Mateo says, my pirates are a little bit different because I wasn't really dealing with that kind of stuff. I was more dealing with, smuggling and subterfuge and keeping myself out of the limelight. So typically, what I had Ralph and the pirates do is go cause a ruckus somewhere else because they are a rambunctious lot, and it always made me easier to get my clandestine stuff done when I had Ralph and the rest of them distracting everyone else. In game terms, basically Corva Fushi's group, they only have one ability, and that ability is called Raid. What they can do is you can send them into a dungeon, like into a duty, or into a dungeon.
You said duty.
I said duty. I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking Final Fantasy XIV.
Duty.
Anyway, you can send them into a dungeon for you, basically, and they will clear out a certain number of encounters based on, kind of whatever the check is, right? So they can help you kind of clear through the bullshit. Like, if you had used them on the last one, they probably would have killed the rats, but not gotten any further than that kind of thing. The DC for that is tied to the CR of the encounters, but it's fairly easy to hit comparatively. What Ralph's does is you basically pair this action. It's literally called Cause Ruckus, right? It's paired with a secrecy check. So what you do is you have these guys, they go out, and then you roll your check with them. They either successfully cause the ruckus or not, right? Either way, you get 3 notoriety instantly. But they're also very practiced at escaping police custody kind of things. It's not like they're going to be captured or anything like that. If the check is successful, the secrecy check that is tied to this action gets a +5. So, if you have your... so let's say, for instance, you have your guys go and try and activate a safe house. You can also have Ralph go cause a ruckus right next door or whatever. So while these guys are negotiating, the Dotari are focused on what's happening down the street, and your check to resolve the safe house gets that +5. But like I said before, whether or not you're successful or whether or not you fail, you always gain 3 notoriety every time you use the cause ruckus action.
Also, can you put these in the SR Teams document or whatever?
Yeah, I actually haven't written this down yet because I'm bad, but yes, I can write that down.
Cool.
Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions? I can explain whatever.
What things qualify as like the secrecy check that gives +5 to?
Anytime you roll a check that requires secrecy. So a bunch of rebellion actions require secrecy checks, and it's also something that you can kind of have them on call for. Like sometimes you'll require secrecy. So sometimes, for instance, you'll require secrecy checks as part of events, right? Some events that take place is something like, one of your team, some of the events, just like the random events that proc each week, will require a secrecy check. You can also have the team like raring to go, basically in reserve, so that if you have to roll one of those secrecy checks as part of the event, you roll it there. You roll it there as well. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This is your bonus team for the book. Once you choose the team, the other one is lost forever. I guess unless you do really good RP to figure out some way to like convince Corva and Ralph to work together.
I vote Ralph.
I kind of like the fighting one, but
Jimmy, I will cut you.
I'm much better at cutting things than you are, over there.
No. I did not say. Weirin, I will cut you. I said Jimmy, Mango will cut you. No, I'm kidding.
I need a minute anyway. I have to go. I have to go to the bathroom. So you guys debate this while I'm gone.
That was good. I actually see merits in both.
I mean, concerned that a couple members of our team aren't particularly good at combat. The combat one might be kind of useful, whereas they're pretty good at checks.
But we can use the sneak in and avoid combat.
Oh, of course. Why would we ever want combat in a D&D game? I'm sorry, we should just do roleplay for everything.
Yeah, right?
Isn't that our goal, guys? We're trying to cut out the combat. Like, that's what we're working towards with these checks.
That's our platonic ideal.
I mean, the other thing is RP-wise, like, Margrug isn't comfortable around orcs, so he wouldn't go with Ralph right away anyway.
Is Ralph an orc?
Ralph's half orc.
Yeah, half
okay.
orc, sorry. So we'd have to have like a pretty convincing argument for Ralph,
Corva
or just more people
Corva's
voting
exact
for it.
race? Is like a Tengu?
Yeah, bird person.
Wait, is she a Strix? I think she's a Strix. Those are the ones
Oh, she's a Strix? Oh, okay.
Those that are common in Cantargo.
Okay, so I don't know. So I have to ask Buddy. Like, that's actually hate birds in this universe. I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Oh yeah, would Rakox just immediately
Yeah.
be against? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta ask him if stereotypes are a thing.
I mean, they're definitely a thing. It's just whether this one or not is particular.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, stereotypes are a thing in this universe. Like, we're like the humanoid version.
What does Alaric think? He's not at his computer.
He's taking a nap, clearly.
Hey, magic boy.
I mean,
No, he's literally not sitting there. I can see the chair.
I guess then, like, just quick count. So what do we have here? How many for Ralph?
I vote for Ralph.
I would vote for the other one.
One for Ralph, one for Korva, and then at this point, I would still be for Korva.
Yeah, my decision is based on like if cats actually hate like birds.
Why are you uncomfortable? Why is
Because Margrove just like isn't great with other half-orcs because of how his tribe was.
I see.
So it's not necessarily that he has anything against Ralph. It's
Yeah,
just something
no,
that
I
makes
was
him
just curious.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I was curious. Wanted to understand the.
Yeah, I mean that's the RP reason. I mean, also I do think with like how our combat is, Korva might be more beneficial at times.
But so the only reason I'm hesitant for that is because like they would have taken out the rats. The rats were never a threat to us.
They would have taken out the rats? Did he say that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He specifically was like they probably only would have taken out the rats.
It just seems like, same type of argument for like we're skipping combat in a D&D game.
That's fair.
The very
That's
real
another reason.
the very real advantage of skipping combat is you don't have to use resources
Sure.
on early encounters.
Yeah, like another.
Like, yeah, even if those rats hit you for like, 4 HP, that's a third of someone's HP gone.
Do you have an opinion, Alaric? Now that you're back.
Well, unfortunately, I sort of came back to this discussion, and I don't have the whole shebangy pulled up. One sec, open up.
Also, Buddy, or rather, Enoch, you had a question for Butteroo?
Oh yeah. Yo, buddy.
What up?
Cats hate birds in this universe, like even at humanoids level.
What?
He's
Cats
asking
hate birds.
if Rakox would have like an instinctual hatred of.
No, Tengu, no.
It's not. Wouldn't it be Strix? Is she a
Separate.
Tengu?
Either or.
Separate question. What
She's not.
She's a cat and she's a bird, so they hate each other.
What were the
Where
other
we're going
people?
with this?
Wait. She's a Tengu?
Yeah, she's a Tengu.
Or that's real weird, isn't it?
The Japanese bird.
Why is that- why is that weird?
Aren't the ones that common can target the Strix?
But the Strix are like a monster race, right? Like they don't live in the city in civilized society, really.
Oh, okay. They're
You know
not,
what I mean?
They're a PC race.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay. Well, as far as I know, there are no Strix in Kintargo. Nothing in the books has ever said that there's, Yeah.
They're presumably a weirdo PC race.
It is Ralph who makes your secrecy checks easier, or it is Korva who makes your dungeon clearing better. Look at that.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
When the
do they start with fly speed?
It looks like it.
They do.
Yeah.
They also have a fly speed of 60 feet. Holy shit, dude. Why does nobody play Strix? That's awesome.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
I think they like generally don't like humans. Also,
that seems to
they
be
don't
the case.
speak common.
They don't speak on. Well,
If they have a high enough intelligence, they can take common.
right.
But like, if you're dumb Strix, you can't talk to your party,
Or
That's
you
kind of
have to
awesome.
take linguistics at level 1 just to.
or you have to make your party speak Strix. Or at least one person in your party speaks Strix and Translate.
That happened in a Star Wars game of mine because Wookiees literally can't speak Basic, which is like the common equivalent in Star Wars. So you have to have somebody who speaks Wookiee to translate. Also, Ewoks don't speak Basic; they speak Ewok.
Well, because Ewoks are dumb.
Yeah, well, I know what you're talking about. Ewoks are awesome.
Ewoks are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I feel like you guys don't actually have an argument for Ewoks.
No, I'm with you.
Enochs are fun. Like, I don't think you have an argument against Enochs. Ewoks.
Yes, I definitely have an argument against Enoch.
In a Star Wars game of mine, Max once was playing an Ewok fighter. Basically, it is their soldiers, an Ewok soldier, and they came to a club, and the bouncer was a Hutt, and because he was an Ewok, he didn't speak Basic, but he rolled a nat 20 on his Intimidate roll. So he intimidated the Hutt such that it allowed everyone to go in. So an Ewok was there intimidating a Hutt in Ewok, the language Ewok. So he just like walks up to this Hutt and he's like, Newok, 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 and the Hutt's like, oh man, I don't want any trouble. Like,
what the shit?
That's
not.
It's 100% a real thing that happened.
That's not canon.
That's not okay.
I mean, this was during our like crazy high school phase of D&D games where things like
Where nat
Coruscant
20s
got
broke things?
holocausted because all of the Star Destroyers that were fighting in space above Coruscant all lost power simultaneously, and they crashed into the planet's surface.
I mean, that sounds like good D&D to me.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that like game just because it has like those awesome D&D stories that you always want to talk about. But anyway, what do you guys want to do?
We have two. Right now, we have 2 votes for Corva, 1 vote for Ralph, 1 undecided in Enoch, and 1 undecided in Charles.
What was Ralph doing again? Oh, he makes secrecy checks easier.
Wait, how can you have 2 votes for each and 2 people
No,
undecided?
what?
That's
No,
5
no, no,
people.
no, 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 no. It's 1 for Ralph.
I vote for Ralph.
All right, Enoch.
Now we're
You're,
2-2.
Ah, damn it. Why am I always in the middle? Because I want to abstain, because I'm good at both.
You're good at abstaining? Oh, you're good with both. Oh, okay.
I bet
so
you
like
Rakax doesn't want no filthy bird person taking away his glory in combat.
Look, Rurkax is a smart guy. He's a soldier. He knows how to strategize. Tactically, which one of these do you think is better for the organization as a whole, right? Do you need the help with your subterfuge, or do you need the help with your fighting?
On it.
Wait, whoa, so what would the crazy people give us? I know, like, it's +3 notoriety, but, like, they would give us sneaking better?
The pirates, what the pirates do is they cause a disruption somewhere nearby where you are making a secrecy check, right? So they start a bar fight. It draws all of the Dotari and the Chellish citizens group to that, so that when the secrecy check gets made, it gets a +5. This is only if they are successful. This is only if they are successful in their check, which is a security check, by the way. Both of these are security checks, the raid action and the cause ruckus action. Whether they succeed or fail at getting that +5 for the kind of like linked team, you gain 3 notoriety every time you use that action.
I have just one more question.
Sure.
They know how to party.
Yeah, I mean they're pirates. Fucking grog and booze, they're all about that
So let's
shit.
do it. Let's party it up with
Okay.
party boys.
The rest, all the other NPCs are split, so this votes a lot of the PC lines. You guys bring in Ralph, and he says, I don't know Ralph stuff. He says, I'm happy to be a part of this. Oh god, I scared my cat. I'm happy to be a part of this revolution. I definitely know that I don't want my sails in that dock any longer than they have to be.
Oh, gosh. Nah, well, one great thing about having Ralph is that we get to make you do that voice all the time.
Exactly.
Indeed. That is the real benefit, I suppose. Anyway, so those 2 things taken out of the way. Garner says, alright, I alluded to this somewhat last night, and to be honest with you, I'm not very proud of keeping this from you, but I told you all that I would be honest, and so that's what I'm going to be when it comes to the rebellion and the Silver Ravens. The reason I wanted to use the Silver Raven's name is because I was a Silver Raven 80 years ago in the Chellish Civil War. In fact, I was a Silver Raven even before that, when they weren't, you know, some rebel group, when they weren't some...
when they were the Golden Seals?
When they weren't some army. When the Silver Ravens were first formed, it was just me, Caelondriel Shadowvale, Illyria Shadowvale, and a man named Rakax Rogar. And we were just an adventuring party like any others, running around stopping bandits here, or...
Did you just say Rakax Rogar?
Oh, not Rakax, Rakash.
Oh, Rakash. Okay.
Which, by the way, you could roll a knowledge history check on it.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
It's pretty easy, I'm sure you guys look at it.
I would love to, but this
Also,
thing keeps
yeah,
closing.
Condor is balls old.
Yeah, he is
Like,
old.
oh, so
The Chellish
old.
Civil War was 80 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that, you know,
Shit.
so Rakash Rogar is
It was how many years
a
ago?
local hero in Kintargo. He is widely credited with saving the city during the Chellish Civil War. Unfortunately, because things have been so redacted from that time, the answer of what precisely he accomplished is not, you know, not widely known. But Gondor says, you know, I know most of you know who Rakash Rogar is. Well, I knew him personally. He and I were good friends, and we worked together for years. You see, people misunderstand that the Chellish Civil War in Kintargo was like what it was in the rest of the Empire, right? What had happened for us was very different, because as soon as the old empire collapsed, we immediately exerted our own dominance. People wanted to come to Kintargo and to conquer the city. It's one of the strongest ports around, and the Kintargo guard at the time just wasn't able to handle that kind of threat. So it was us who did. The Silver Ravens were given permission to form a militia. And we drafted citizens, just ordinary citizens from the city, and they fought back. They fought back against, you know, nobles, and they fought back against people from Nidal, and they fought back against anyone who was trying to conquer the city. And each time that we successfully fought back, we only had more recruits, until almost half the city was part of the militia, and had gone through training with Rakash, and had you know, was able to learn healing from Caelondriel, or was working as part of Illyria's spies and outriders and scouts who kept us informed at all times. The problem was, we were so focused on keeping Kintargo and Ravenel safe from everyone outside of the city who was trying to take it, that we didn't realize what kind of threat was brewing within it. And that threat was Lilith. She was just a cleric at the time, so we understand. And she ran her coven and she ran her cult, and just like House Thrune made their pacts with the devils in order to get their army that eventually conquered the city, well, Lilith made her pact with Lamashtu and demons. But instead of sending an army like Lilith wanted, Lamashtu sent the Savaphage, a disease. And that disease, well, it ripped through the city like nothing else. For 3 days, northern Kintargo was just ravaged. People were being infected, no one understood what was happening. Beastmen were spawning all over, and eventually the Silver Ravens had to close down the bridge. We were guarding it to make sure that whatever was happening in the north of Kintargo, it did not bleed into the south. But obviously, the Beastmen weren't going to be content with the desolation that they had created up there. And after they had turned everyone on that side of the city, or killed them, they attacked the bridge. And for 3 days, it was the Silver Ravens versus the Beastmen, the first Beastmen that we had ever seen ever in our lives. And now, by this time, we were all well trained. We had been through 12 separate invasions, and we had won every single one of them because of Rakash's tactics. Rakash's tactics more than anything else.
Invasions by whom? By the Chelliacs?
By all sorts of people who wanted to take over Kintargo from themselves. Nidal was part of 3 separate ones. One of them was using, I believe, Kolkari Blackbloods, in fact. There were
What?
various... It's true. They were being in use even back then. There were noble houses all across Kintargo who were just becoming warlords, basically, and trying to take over the city with mercenary companies. That was a lot of them. Via, the free city to the north marched down with their own mercenary army, but like I said, we fought them back every time. It was Lilith. It was Lilith and the Beastmen that was the final battle for us. Because on that bridge, we fought them, like I said, for 3 days. And even though we were rotating people off of the front lines and doing everything that we could to possibly heal them, to remove the disease, to stop the ferocity, we always had to put more soldiers forward. On the 3rd day, Lilith herself knew that she was running her own army thin. And so she took to the battlefield, and I've never seen a beastman so ferocious than when it was led by Lilith, who at the time was some grotesque abomination, clearly warped by Lamashtu's influence. The beastmen fought harder than ever, and we had to respond, so the 4 of us, myself, Caelandriel, Aluria, and Rakash, we came to Fort Lilith directly, and we did. Alongside all of the rest of the Silver Ravens, the militia that we had recruited. We fought Lilith, and one by one, Lilith took us all down, except until Rakash was the last one. And fortunately for him, he was able to wound her harder than any of the rest of us had. He was able to pierce whatever effects she was using to keep herself safe, and seriously threaten her life. But as she left the battlefield, well, she made sure that Rakash wasn't going to be able to do the same. And he was killed by all of the beastmen that she left behind to stop her advance. They left the city, of course, and eventually migrated south into the forest, but it was what came next that was the worst part. Because for all those days of fighting, we didn't notice that House Thrune had marched their first army that we had ever seen through the pass at the Menador Mountains. And they found their way to our doorstep, and we were tired and we were exhausted. And I didn't think there was a way that we could fight them. We had lost so many people. We had so many wounded. The north of Kintargo was completely destroyed and the population devastated. And even though Caelandriel and Aluria, they wanted to fight, they wanted to put up that stand against House Thrune, I convinced them not to. And we negotiated a surrender. It was part of this that created the Kintargo contract that binds Ravenel and Kintargo to the Empire as a whole. Aluria, Caelandriel, and I each received our own finder's fee for helping to negotiate the truce and the surrender. I got the Dreamweaver staff, Caelandriel got her noble house, and Aluria got all of the land in northern Kintargo that we couldn't find deeds or heirs for. Overnight, she became the most profitable landowner in all of Kintargo. And as part of the agreement, we made sure that House Thrune was the one to rebuild the north. But,
Wasn't it sufficient? Was it to drain their resources, essentially?
No, it was because we didn't know what they were. We looked at House Thrune and we saw, I don't know, some kind of salvation, I suppose. We knew they would just level the city if they fought us, and so the best thing that we could do for our people... The best thing that we could do for our people is to negotiate this contract and to integrate into Chellish. 10 years later, the Silver Ravens became synonymous with upstart rebel groups who didn't like Thrune rule, and Ravens. So the term Silver Ravens and the history of the Silver Ravens, even though none of the three of us were involved, were completely outlawed and redacted from all of the history books. This is why most people don't even know who they are anymore. Of course, I regretted it. Didn't take long to figure out who House Thrune were and what their agendas were, and so I decided to be a criminal, because that's the kind of person I am, I suppose. Illyria felt the same way, and that's why she worked with me for so long. But Caelondriel never wanted to jeopardize the noble house. She just figured that it was over, and that kind of fighting back wasn't worth anyone's time. And that's the story. That's the story of who the Silver Ravens are. And that's who Lilith is, and that's who the Beastmen are, and why I think they're dangerous. And they're not something that we can ignore. If they want to come back to the city, if they have some agenda that's going to result in people getting hurt, it's got to be something that we're going to have to stop, just like we have to stop Barzillai Thrune. But I'm sure you might have, questions or anything you want to ask me. Please feel free. Like I said, I'm going to try and be honest with you if I can.
So way long ago, Lyra was like, "You're not telling them the full story of why you want to do this." Is this what she was talking about?
No, Lyra didn't know. Most people don't. Illyria knew. Some of the others.
So we could have saved a lot of trouble with going to Illyria and saying, "Yo, Lou, let's get the band back together."
She asked me to retire. She didn't want to be a part of my organization any longer. She didn't want to be a part of the Black, which is the reason that she trained Taylor to take her place. And that wasn't too many years ago, obviously, and I'm glad that Illyria decided to join back up again, but I didn't want to overstep my bounds and try and use that connection that she very clearly wanted to sever.
This is a lot to take in.
I figured that might be the case. Well, if you think of anything that you want to ask, any of us, and by any of us I mean just me, because nobody else knows about this, why would I say any of us? I didn't say any of us. Retcon, I'm good, I can do that. Anyway, he says, feel free to do so. I'm sure that some of you have concerns, and I'm sure that some of you might not be pleased to learn that it was me who did this to Kintargo in the first place. Who
Doesn't
brought
really
Barzillai
bother
through
me.
here.
Who are the other people in his original group again?
Caelondriel Shadowvale, and Illyria Shadowvale, and Rakash Rogar. In fact, Rakash Rogar and Illyria Shadowvale, or Rakash Rogar and Caelondriel Shadowvale had a son. And Rakash's son, whose name I don't remember off the top of my head, also had a son who's Bairn. So Bairn Rogar is the grandson of Rakash Rogar.
Which is this also why Gondor hates that Baron betrayed him?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you
Or
can ask
part
him
of
about
it?
that. You can ask him about that if you want.
Okay.
Do you ask him about it?
Baron Rogar is...
His friend's child.
That's the same last name.
Gondor says, yeah, Bairn is actually Caelondriel's grandson. Yes. Caelondriel and Rakash were a couple at the time, and they had one son together before Rakash passed. And now, that son was not very thrilled with how her mother, or with how his mother behaved after the passing of his father, but he and I worked together for a long time. He was captain of the guard guard before Bairn was. And when he died, Bairn took his place. This was maybe 20 years ago. The reason that I was able to exist with such impunity was because I set forth principles, things that I would and would not do, and things that they would and would not excuse. I mean, I made almost all of my money just selling contraband books to people. But when Barzillai Thrune came to Kintargo, that was when Bairn Rogar betrayed me. We had an agreement that I wasn't going to see the inside of a prison cell for the actions that I was taking and for the things that I was doing, because we all agreed that whatever we could do to have Kintargo be a free place where expression and creativity weren't silenced, that we should do that. Bairn Rogar apparently does not feel the same.
Wait, so is Bairn and Calandriel, or why did I say her name weird? Anyways, are they like close or anything then? I didn't know they were related before.
As far as I know, Bairn and Calandriel don't really speak all that much. Bairn was very much the child of his father, and his father didn't really like Calandriel, didn't want to be a part of Calandriel's noble house any more than Bairn does. It's the reason that they still have the name Rogar instead of being integrated into the Shadow Vales, which they could very easily do if they wanted. But I suppose you'd have to ask them about the specifics why.
And this isn't really RP related, but Bairn's considered human, like not half elf. Okay.
Technically, Bairn is like a quarter elf, but fundamentally that's human, because
Okay.
Rakash and Calandriel's kid is a half elf, and then that person married a human and had a quarter elf kid, and that's Bairn.
Okay.
Gundar says, one last thing that you might want to know, specifically, Weirin, is,
Ooh, me.
it was me that started the Way Watchers. Not really, but I was the one that,
Damn.
I was the one that, that funded them all of those years ago. It was clear that the Beastmen were going to be a threat all across Ravenel and the countryside, and that, I don't know, someone was going to have to deal with it. And so when the idea for the Way Watchers was proposed and then shot down by the government, they didn't want to foot the bill for that kind of militia. I decided to do it myself. And almost entirely through private donations, I was able to get them on their feet, get them running. And to be honest, I always enjoyed giving money to the Way Watchers. I don't really know that there's a more noble group in all of Ravenel. These are people who put their lives on the line every day in the harshest conditions for coppers in order to keep people safe from the Beastmen.
Wow, that's impressive.
I'm not trying to
Is there
curry
any
your
sense
favor.
motive shenanigans here?
I mean, if you guys sense a bunch of motives, he's telling the truth.
Okay, I mean, I figured,
Sure.
but you never know.
If he was lying, would we be able to tell anyways?
Probably not. He's really, really high level, and he has max ranks and bluff, I think. I'd have to check his character sheet, but I bet he does. He's also a sorcerer, so he has a really high charisma.
You know,
Just super mystery Santa Claus.
Yeah, but I don't. He's specifically not lying. Like, I don't mind telling you that out of game that this is all truth and facts, and crazy plot twist reveals about the backstory of Kintargo.
And that it's all
About the
Gonder's
reason
fault.
why he insisted that we were called the Silver Ravens.
That too,
And not the golden seals.
and not the Golden Seals, because
Wait,
it's a stupid
why is it
fucking
his-
name.
the golden
Why is it-
seals.
Why is it his
Forever.
fault again, though, per se?
because he negotiated with House Thrune instead of fighting. Whether or not you want to actually call that his fault is kind of up for debate, but it's something that he clearly feels guilty for.
Yeah, so he's basically using us as a proxy to absolve himself of his own guilt. But hey, if we can benefit,
Something like that.
Wubble wubble dub dub.
Yeah, exactly. Wubble wubble dub dub.
Anyway, it's fucking 9:30. That's
Yeah.
it. That's dead. We'll pick up with the rebellion stuff, the rebellion actions themselves, and any questions that you have specifically for Gondor, I suppose.
Before we break, just to finish the wealth splitting stuff, because we haven't spent enough time on that. Did we have any items of particular value that we needed to divide?
I thought we just had gold in this situation.
We need to. We'll talk about it in the group. But anyway,
Okay, sounds good.
I'm gonna roll my 1d4 to see if I can buy my cuffs of wonderful garments. It's on a 4 I can't, right? Right,
Yeah.
buddy?
Wait, are those the things that...
God damn it!
Fucking law.
Did you... Is that the things that are in the market this week?
Yeah.
Do
Basically,
you just randomly generate that, or like how's that work?
I randomly generate that. Anything that is 4,000 gold or less, there is a 75% chance it's just in the market somewhere.
Also,
which
how the
means that
hell
you
would
just
we
have to roll it.
afford... I don't know how much your cuffs of magical garment...
200 gold.
Oh, okay, so you could afford that.
Yeah, they're real cheap.
Because, like, I would like to get some bracers of armor and things to buff, and, like, I don't know, people tell me pearls of power are good.
So, if I wanted to get my hands on a pair of these, could I, like, commission them?
Yeah, you can commission them for $300.
300 gold? Alright. Oh, I think I have that much. We'll see.
And you guys should. You made a bunch of money, I think.
Well, we
Yeah.
haven't divvied up the 1900, but I believe that...
Well, 1900 divided by 5 is slightly under 400. And then
Right,
we
but
have...
you've made other purchases, and you have other cash, and you can also pull money out of the treasury if you want to do this kind of thing. It's something in
Right,
the world.
right. We need to divide up the item-based money from the last adventure, but that's about it.
We had item-based money?
I thought we did. Like,
No, the only
okay.
item was I thought there were more items there, but the only magical item she had was a potion of cure.
Okay,
wounds.
so 1900 gold divided by 5.
Everyone add this to your amount.
Sounds great.
That's 380 gold apiece.
380? Excellent. 560, 880.
Wait, so how much gold did we get from the previous adventures then? Is that not what you just said?
So the I'm gonna stop the stream because nobody needs to hear
Oh
this.
yeah, we're not meeting next week, but we are meeting the week after that. You guys are gonna do clenched jaws because it's the only mission left, which will probably take 2 weeks to be honest.
The week after that, I will not be here.
Oh, that's not the end of the world. That's fine.
Yeah, especially if I'm not gonna be here. Or I might be here. I'll be in Florida. I'll see if we're doing any. If we're not doing anything, then I might jump on.
Yeah, I mean it's not the end of the world if we like take a break kind of thing. I don't mind taking 2 weeks off.
Right.
We've been at it consistently enough for my tastes, which is good.
All right. Until next time, dear viewers.
Yeah, until next time, viewers. Yay.